You have for the middleweight division? Well, middleweight is just right now. I'm comfortable. I make the weight good, but I just had a southpaw fight, and the good thing about being from Detroit, I know when somebody got the itch. I know when somebody wanna come back to the sport. I know when somebody fiending to come back to the sport. I've been seeing my dog pop out of interviews, doing more interviews, popping out in the fights. And for me, man, I want to fight people that's of my generation. I don't want to fight the YNs. The YNs don't please me unless the money there. I want to fight somebody of my generation, and I think a fight with Errol Spence will please everybody. I think me and him coming back, champion versus champion, skill versus skill, toughness versus toughness. And he see that I ain't running. I ain't doing no running, you know what I mean? I'm there to be hit. So if you feel like you the man, I love you, my dog. But let's get a finish what they want to see. I would love that fight to come back. But if not, give me the guys with the money, man. I need a new roof for my gym. Give me the guys with the money. I'll fight anybody, everybody. No matter the promoter, no matter where, no matter the YNs. Give me the money. I'll kick their ass.
You heard it right here from Tony Harrison. He's back. If you're feeling froggy, then leap. Back to you, Alan.
Tony Harrison call out Errol Spence. I think he fought at the Fox Theater in Detroit. I ain't been in the Fox in a minute. Shout out to the Fox Theater. I believe it's downtown Detroit, right? Fillmore, all that shit right there. Downtown is very small. I think he got the win with a body stoppage. I mean, hey, I think, if it's enough money, I think the fight was streamed on his own. Is it enough money for Errol Spence? I don't think Tony is as dangerous as a Virgil Ortiz. Maybe for Virgil Ortiz, that might be a future opponent. He might jump up to 160 and fight. But I think, Virgil and Errol is the same vibe. Tony's trying to build his career back up at 160, feeling a little bit stronger. Tall guy, by the way, about the same height as me. So yeah, I respect this call out, to be honest. Maybe Errol skips over 54 and go to 60. It's a lot of opportunity if he wants to continue to fight. Obviously he's staying in shape and, getting it together and all that type of stuff. And mentally probably wanted to make sure he want to take that leap. Physically, he want to make sure he take that leap. But it's a good thing, it's a whole, Texas and Michigan, little thing. When the Lions played Houston, they did it Houston versus Detroit, down there in Houston. When they, Dallas and Detroit, they got a little thing going right there between us and them. So yeah, it'd be a nice little sale, to be honest with you. That'd be a nice little fight, and I think they pretty much at the same wavelength. I think right now, obviously, Tony Harrison's got a couple warm-ups under his belt. I think I dropped in the first one, but got woke up and, did his thing. And I think, Earl, if you want to, you can go right into this fight if you want. But then again, do we want to fight? If it's money right and you don't have to fight, most people not going to fight if you ain't got to fight to make a living. But maybe he don't want to go out, based off the Crawford fight, even though that loss have aged pretty well after what he did to Canelo Alvarez. So I think even the guy that's been a Terrence Crawford fan, I underestimated his ability. I don't think he's going to be able to jump up 2 weight classes to beat Canelo Alvarez. And hey, man, not only did he rocked him, he got his attention, and he pieced him up, outboxed him. And if I'm Earl, I'm like, man, and maybe Earl like, hey, maybe I could have did that to him, to Canelo Alvarez. Hey, who knows? I was hearing him say, well, Canelo really ain't that big of a guy, so, so be it. So be it. I feel him. Definitely feel him, but, for the most part, only time will tell. Only will tell, but, I like the fight. Obviously, I don't think it's going to happen in Detroit. Most likely somewhere in Dallas or somewhere neutral. Like I said, it's a good, fight for their generation. They both around the same age. I think Dallas would come out, then Detroit would come out. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's a nice little vibe. That's a real nice little vibe. It's a nice little fight to do. So I think it was calculated. I mean, could he have called for a Charlo trilogy? I mean, yeah, if he can get past Earl, then that may make sense. But a lot of these guys sit on the shelf because the money ain't right. That's what a lot of these guys sit on the shelf because the money ain't right. People, the money ain't what it was. A lot of them was getting paid to do, to fight, fights, like it was big fights. Now that, the money came back down, everybody like, I'm not moving for this, that, and the third. Inflation didn't cut into it, and a lot of things that happened. Inflation ain't caught into it, and so I get it. I definitely understand it. Definitely understand it. So, but yeah, I think that's a good fight for Errol to come back into. Tony Harrison had a couple fights. He made a name, talk popping and shit. And if you Charlo, maybe you licking your chops in the wings. Maybe you can build up fanfare for the winner. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can make some money. Y'all can make some money. Y'all can make some money. So, but I ain't mad at it. And when I first seen it on social media, I'm like, and I thought about it. I watched the full class. I said, yeah, why not? So I see Paulie on the MIC. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's going on there. I seen the zone. It wasn't pro box, but yeah, why not? If not, Virgil Ortiz wanna, and I creep, yeah, and I keep it round and round low. And he wanna creep to 160. I mean, hey, Tony Harrison, he just fought on the zone. I think Saltier Promotions is a DAZN, promotional company. Golden Boy is a DAZN promotional company. So, for the most part, it may make a lot of sense. It may make a lot of sense. So, yeah, it's a lot of things that could be in the work. So it's a lot of, at 160, some belts just came up there. Maybe PBC might want to do Adamas and Harrison. It's a good name for Adamas to get up there. Maybe Adamas want to climb to 68 and go for a Canelo bag. The possibilities is endless. So, a historic division as of 160 can't stay down that long. We needed to come up. We needed to come up. So hopefully it does come up. Hopefully it does rebound. And if it does, maybe it's the rebirth. Maybe get Charlo, Errol, Spence, Tony Harrison, Virgil Ortiz. You get some of these guys kind of revive it. Maybe Genevieve come back clean. So maybe get some of these dudes to revive the division. But for Harrison and Errol, yeah, they might as well 1-2 step with it. Might as well. Who do I think will win the fight? Is Errol still turning them shots over like he supposed to? That's the question. If Errol can touch, can really still pop a little bit, that'd be interesting. Tony can stay on that jab, he can pop too. So it's really damn near who get caught first. Errol had the eye, he been taking some rest and get used to getting hit up and sparring again. But if you can cut that distance on Harrison, you can close that gap on Harrison. If you can close that gap on Harrison, yeah, he probably gonna win. If Harrison clip Errol Spence coming in, he'll probably win. So it's really a fight of real estate and conditioning. And if Errol is still stepping it up, get stronger and stronger every round, Tony Harrison probably have his hands full. Tony's kind of just never had great conditioning. And that might have been from the massive weight cut at 154. He's a tall guy. Or maybe other habits. Maybe he's not doing strength and conditioning the right way. Maybe overtraining. Who knows? He's one of those, lean, tall guys too. So they know they really not had the best jaws. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, only time will tell. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. But yeah, I think that's a good fight. The zone will want it. It shouldn't be too expensive. You know, but I know Errol probably want big money coming back. So be interested to see, you know, what goes down. You know, 54 right now, you got guys giving up belts and guys trying to get the least resistance. It's a young man's division, so yeah, let the young boys down there put it together, and I guess make 160 the old head division. You know, make it the geriatric division. I'm joking. Make it the grown and sexy division. There we go. Make it the grown and sexy division. Why not? You know, make it the grown and sexy division. You know, suit and tie shit. What did Jay-Z had ninjas wearing? Them collar shirts. Niggas, I ain't never wore a collar shirt or what was they called, button up. I ain't never wore a button up. Yeah, him and them old school pictures with a button up because Jay-Z. I ain't never fuck with Jay-Z, and niggas had buttons up because Jay-Z said it with the goddamn cufflinks. Yeah, remember niggas, man, were going crazy over the cufflinks and shit. Niggas had the button up off the cufflinks. Niggas had the button up off the cufflinks. Stop it. Wow, why are you hitting your brakes like that, bro? There's really nobody that far in front of you. But yeah, man, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and the subscribe button. There's the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance of notifications. We go live or drop video. Financially, want to support the channel? Cash App, $CJ Good 313, Venmo, CJ Good 313, PayPal link description. Appreciate the love and support. Peace.